right, Matrixx and Rhodes Show supporters. Well, this is a little bit different kind of video. This certainly is more celebrity focused, I guess. There's certainly not a lot of politics in this video. At least I don't think there is. But this is a wild story because we got suspects that were planning a terror attack against Taylor Swift concert goers. And there has now been a picture surface of one of the suspects, ISIS-related, holding knives. A lot of this stuff, you don't always know exactly what to believe. But this is pretty wild. Now, you see this headline right here. Taylor Swift ISIS attack suspect. He planned to drive his car into 20,000 fans at a Vienna concert. I mean, this is wild. Friends of the 19-year-old leading suspect are believed to have been hired as security guards in stewarding area of Vienna concert. This is like starting to grow more tentacles out of it. A teenager accused of plotting a ISIS terror attack at Taylor Swift concert has been pictured for the first time. So there that dude is. Is there a bigger picture down here? No, I don't see one. So that's the picture right there. Holding a bunch of knives, a couple of knives. A photo of the 19-year-old main suspect, only known as Baron A, at a press conference at the Foreign Ministry in Vienna today. He can be seen posing with two large knives with a pin of a ISIS flag on his T-shirt. Authorities arrested two suspected extremists, one of whom appeared to be planning an attack on the event in the Vienna arena. Baron A was arrested in Turnitz, south of Vienna, and the second person in the Austrian capital. The 19-year-old's arrest took place in the early hours of Wednesday, while the second arrest took place in Vienna later in the day. Miss Swift had been due to play to 170,000 fans over the course of 3 nights in Vienna before organizers Barracuda Music announced the event had been canceled. She was set to perform at the Ernst Happel Stadium on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and is next due to play 5 dates at London's Wembley Stadium between Thursday, August 15th and Tuesday, August 20th. I know, I think AEW's All In is going to be at Wembley again. The singer, 34, is said to be, quote, horrified at the thought of the terror attack between being successful after the tragedy of Ariana Grande's devastating Manchester gig. She was also issued a promise to her fans that she is conscious about her, quote, disappointed fans. There she is right there, okay. In an Instagram post on Wednesday, Barracuda Music said they had no choice but to axe the shows with confirmation from government officials of a planned terrorist attack at the stadium. We have no choice but to cancel 3 scheduled shows for everyone's safety. I mean, I think that makes sense. A source told the Mirror Taylor is devastated by this, devastated for the fans who have been waiting for years to see her, but the thought of what could have happened if the concerts had been targeted by a terror attack is horrifying. She would never risk the safety of her own fans. The memory of what happened at the Ariana Grande concert in Manchester is still very vivid in everyone's mind, but she told her team that she wants to try to return to Vienna as soon as possible. Wow, she's very disappointed, very conscious of how disappointed her Austrian fans are. Oh, that's crazy. Let me see if we can get more on this driving in situation. Right here, reports authorities arrested 2 suspected extremists, one of whom is believed to have been planning an attack on the Vienna event, while a manhunt is underway for a 3rd suspect. Friends of the 19-year-old key suspect are said to have been hired as employees of the security service at the concert. Teenager reportedly planned to drive a car into 20,000 fans standing outside the Ernst Happel Stadium during concerts before attacking with machetes and knives. Jesus. God, that took even a worse turn. I mean, it was a bad turn, and then it got real bad. Local outlets report that, quote, well-advanced bomb was constructed after chemical substances were found at his home. He had a bomb going on here. The suspect allegedly planned to create an explosive device using chemicals TATP, which is particularly sensitive to impact. Holy shit. He was going to drive the car in and explode the car. What a nightmare. The second man arrested is believed to be a 17-year-old Austrian, while a 15-year-old Austrian national has also been questioned after being identified as a suspect. Austrian's chancellor later confirmed the tragedy had been averted following the show's cancellations. Karl Nehammer wrote on X following the news of the arrest, "Thanks to the intensive cooperation of our police and newly established DSN, Directorate for Security and Intelligence for Foreign Services, the threat was identified early on, combated, and the tragedy was prevented." The 19-year-old Austrian suspect with North Macedonian roots was arrested in Turnitz, south of Vienna, second person at the Austrian capital. I think we just read that, and he goes on to talk about some of the things we just talked about as far as the show. Before the decision was to cancel, Ruff said security at the concerts would be increased following the alleged terror threat. Police said the shows were expected to draw 65,000 concert goers per day, with another 10 to 15,000 outside the area. That is absolutely bonkers. That is crazy as hell. It really is. And again, let's go back and we'll take a look at this. This guy, man, look at these knives. Now, some of these look like what we would call like survivalist knives, or a lot of people that do very raw forms of camping and things like that will use these kind of knives here in America anyway. Like they're actual survival things that you would see like if you've ever watched Dual Survival and Bear Grylls and Survivor Man or Alone, you see these kind of knives and things like that because one side of them is very jagged with like a saw blade. You can literally cut branches off for firewood and things like that with these kind of knives. They're sharp as hell. I mean, I think I've got 2 of them maybe at the house that I actually use out on my land just to carry around with me and have it, and along with a couple of saws I've got, survivalist saws, that work fantastic. I've actually chopped down trees that have been probably that big around with, not with these knives, but some of these survivalist saws that you can just pull out and they fold. But that's pretty wild. My dog's going nuts. Tell me what you think. Matrixx and Rhodes show support. It sounds like they averted what could have been a total tragedy, a disaster. My dog is really going nuts. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.